a massive rally. So we thought we'll get Vivek in to kind of, dive a little deeper. But before we get to Vivek, I want to request our director if, he can point out to a one-year chart. A stock like SJVN is up 8% today after a massive 70-75% rally. On NTPC, the rally is not so pronounced, but even then, 2023, we're talking about a 15% gain. Last 1 year, we're talking about a 25% gain. So pull up the long, yeah, there you go, 72% on SJVN. So the market has been pricing, and I think some of this, and that's NTPC. Okay, not 25, make that 30% over the last 1 year. So these stocks have been on the move. It's not like they haven't moved. But let's find out what's new about the premise that Goldman Sachs is putting out, and more importantly, what are the other triggers as well that we need to keep in mind. Vivek is here. Vivek, over to you. So you tell us, what are the key opportunities and what could be the key challenges? Because it's all about transition, right, from thermal to green. So how do you read the overall picture?
Well, you're absolutely right. So, right now, what's actually happening as far as the entire utility space is concerned is that India currently is in a dilemma. Number one, energy security in terms of actually having enough thermal capacity addition as well as thermal capacity. And on the other hand, there have been significant commitments that India has made towards actually going ahead and ensuring a cleaner future. So let's actually have a look at the commitments that India has made at the Paris Accord. So number one, India has committed to 50% of the cumulative power installed capacity will only be coming in from non-fossil fuel sources by 2030. So that's a significant commitment. Number two, India said that they would be reducing emissions intensity, by the GDP ratio by almost 45% compared to the 2005 level. And that actually requires significant amount of carbon dioxide reductions. And lastly, India has committed to a net zero emission by 2070. So which is why, we are discussing names like NTPC, which actually sit on the precipice in terms of actually having significant thermal capacity currently, addition of thermal capacity, and at the same time, also having to go ahead and improve or increase the kind of non-fossil fuel capacity addition that they would have to go ahead and do.
Okay, so that's interesting. How do you marry energy security as well as, the renewable energy, save the environment kind of commitments that we've made? Can you take us through the changes in the utility space from the point of view of opportunities in clean energy space as well as the legacy thermal business?
Well, absolutely right. And I'll set it up with an example in terms of NTPC, given it's the largest thermal power producer in the country. So the Goldman Sachs wrote actually tells it very well. What they're saying is that at this point of time, there's a generational shift going on. The country is actually looking to grow its thermal capacity, power capacity, as well as to decarbonize, which is a very tough ask for any country. So now, what's actually happening is that when you're talking about India, we are actually looking at a peak power deficit cycle, which actually says that incremental demand growth would be slower than what it is currently. And at the same time, there could be some sort of capacity addition slowdown as well. So when you're talking about NTPC, remember NTPC, largest power company, total installed capacity of over 73 gigawatts. And what the company has committed to is that by the next couple of years, they would be having an non-thermal energy capacity pipeline of over 17 gigawatts, of which already 4.5 gigawatts is under almost tied up with a lot of PPAs. Apart from that, remember the company has also said that they would be looking to do value unlocking. So sometime down the future, you'd be seeing a stake sale in only the renewable arm of NTPC or an IPO too that could come up. So all of these are very significant triggers that Goldman Sachs has actually pointed out to.
All right, very interesting there. Vivek, just one final question on, this entire space. Like Surabhi was pointing out as well, we've seen a big rally in a lot of these stocks, and renewables is, of course, one big trigger, perhaps the biggest one. But what else has got this sector so excited in trade?
Well, right. So Surabhi would recall just a couple of days back, we had spoken in depth about the smart metering opportunity, and we had also spoken about how some of the stocks have actually seen meteoric rises in just past couple of trading weeks. So number one, the smart metering opportunity, apart from the thermal, non-thermal capacity addition pipeline, we're looking at the smart metering opportunity. And why is this so important? A lot of discoms in India are actually seeing significant losses on the back of billing inefficiencies as well as power theft. So, several players, including names like NTPC, there's a Power Grid JV as well, names like HPL Electric, Genus Power, all of which are now looking at this opportunity because the government has said very clearly that this is going to be a significant opportunity in terms of the kind of smart metering ordering that is going to come in. So, what IIFL says is that if smart meters are executed well, it can actually alter the sectoral landscape. And lastly, you've seen a lot of companies come out and talk about pump storage hydro plants. Why is this? Because India has given a commitment, that they would be increasing or scaling up the capacity of pump storage hydro plants to almost 27 gigawatts by 2032, and currently it's just about 5 gigawatts. So a lot of the names, including a lot of our companies, will be forced to go ahead and ensure that they have enough storage capacity, for the upcoming capacity additions that they would be planning.
Okay, got that. Vivek, thank you very much. I definitely remember